Okay, so it's week 3, and you notice the week 3A participation module is locked so that you can't post to the participation forum for the beginning of the week. You'll notice down here that the prerequisites say that you need to complete week 2 in order to unlock this module. So you come up here to week 2 module and scroll down, checking all of the items until you find one with the gray notation underneath it. In this case, it says you must score at least a 4 on the Siegel reading quiz in order to complete this module and then unlock the next module. So let's get started on that task. We're going to open up the Siegel reading quiz. And we're presented with a multiple choice question. Now, of course, one option is to just crunch through and take the quiz as many times as it takes to select each one of these items or options in turn until you find the right one. But that's not going to teach you very much about the reading. Here's another multiple choice question, but this one might be a little easier to game a little bit because it actually has a quote from the text. So here's something that you can do. Now, naturally, of course, you'll want to take this quiz before you even read the text for the first time so that you can be looking out for these words. But let's say you don't remember reading these words. You can go back and open up the digital copy of the article, and you can hit Control F to open up a find window. We're going to paste Control V that phrase into the find window, and now we have the paragraph where it's located. So we can read around that passage and see if we can maybe come up with the answer to this multiple select question or multiple choice question without having to force guess our way through it. So those are some options for multiple choice questions. Let's talk about how we can deal with multiple select questions. All right, well, once again, we have a quote. So let's go ahead and use our quote trick to begin with. And then I want to point out some options or features of the multiple select. Right, the ones with the squares are ones that you can mark all of them, but of course, if you mark all of them and submit it, then you'll get 0 out of, in this case, 1. But here's the phrase interspace. We'll notice up here that there's only one instance of interspace, so that's very helpful. And the sentence says that the process of maturing is a movement from rich yet defensive interspace to the outer reality of pleasure, postponement, setback, and perseverance. Well, when we first encounter a multiple select question, we want to try to just choose one option that we're almost sure is correct. In this case, since defensive, the word defensive is used as an adjective to describe inner space, that probably is one of the ways that Siegel uses to characterize that concept. So we're going to leave that with just 1 and move on to the next question, which is also a multiple select. Now in this case, once again, we're going to try to find one that is correct. And probably I remember Siegel being a parent. Let's see. Indeed, I look at my own children, 6 and 2. So let's go ahead and select that one and see what that tells us. Okay. So of course we didn't answer the first 4 multiple choice questions, so we're going to look at this. Do a little bit of math here. Now out of 1 point we got 0.33, which is 1/3. So if we have 1/3 out of 1, that means that there are 2/3 left to go, so there are 2 options that we need to select. Here we have 2/3 out of 2, or 0.66 out of 2. If you do the math, of course, you'll find out that's also the case, that there are 2 more statements here that are true about Siegel's argument. So that's some helpful pieces of information. Let's go ahead and take the quiz again. Now, if you've already figured out the multiple choice questions and you just want to work on the 2 multiple select questions, then you can just use this device to skip down to the question that you're interested in. Alright, well, we know that defensive, notice how these are rearranged again, is one of the options, and we want 2 more. Alright, well, let's go back to the question here. So we're moving from a defensive inner space to the outer reality of pleasure, postponement, setback, and perseverance. So pleasure, postponement, and perseverance are things that are the opposite of the inner space. So we can definitely rule out pleasure, postponement, and perseverance. But the internet offers one recessive changer after another of another inwardness. Okay, inwardness sounds a lot like inner space. It is a place, the internet, right, where distraction and immediate gratification become cognitive tools in themselves. All right, well, we got immediate gratification and we have distraction. So those are probably going to be safe guesses. And if they're not, we can figure out what to do about that. Of course, if we're unsure, then we can go ahead and take them one at a time and make sure that we're just kind of building on it slowly. Okay, this one we knew that, let's see, Siegel's a parent. And let's say we've got a lot of belief statements here. So Siegel believes that parents need to take more responsibility. Siegel believes that the government should be more responsible for protecting children on the internet. And Siegel believes the internet should be censored. If we're talking about things that Siegel believes, probably only one of these statements is correct. But let's go ahead and check. Let's just go with the first one. Now we know that this is correct, and we'll see what kind of feedback we get when we submit the quiz again. Alright, once again we're going to scroll down to the ones that we actually got correct. Alright, so this time we got 2/3 out of 1, so both of these are correct, and probably distraction is the third one. Here we got 0 out of 2. Now we know that this one was correct, and we know that a multiple select question will deduct points for wrong answers. If it didn't deduct points for wrong answers, then you could just select all of the options and you get full credit every time. So for every right answer you get, well, for every wrong answer you get, it'll cancel out a right answer. So since these two are canceling each other out, and we know this one is right, then we know this one must be wrong, and Siegel must believe something else. So either Siegel believes that the parents need to take responsibility, or Siegel believes that the government should be more responsible for protecting children on the internet. So of course, once again, maybe we can plug in some of these to the to the find feature of the text and maybe figure out which one of these he believes in more. Alright, hopefully these tips will help you become better readers as well as passing the reading quizzes in a more timely manner.